somehow you can find a slightly better frame of mind.
Make sure all my cool audios are on. I think we're good to go. So hello and welcome all proficient and professional Mindmen to the third annual Mindman Tournament of Silverhand.
I don't believe it's annual, but we'll roll with it.
Well, it could be Minecraft annual. I haven't done the math, admittedly. But here we go.
Yeah.
It's a very exciting Saturday afternoon on Loka, and we've got some exciting matchups with only 16 participants, including a continent, somewhat of a, what is it, a 5v5 Magpie?
Yep, it's a free-for-all 5v5, I guess you could call it. Well, yeah. And the world capital will be fighting the winner of the other two continents bout.
All right. Well, giving the word to Mr. P to kick the thing off. I have chat muted on my end for the sanctity and sanity of the stream. But I believe we are off with, I don't even know what continent we're got.
This will be Kauros versus Garama.
Kauros versus Garama.
Fighting Ascalon, the leader of the capital of each of these continents, has put together their respective teams. Obviously trying to put forward the strongest. Getting stuck right in there. A little side bout between Mason and Inapplicable there.
Admittedly, too much at chaos to even track.
Also to note, this is potion PvP, so we've got fully enchanted gear with unenchanted shields as the equipment.
It's a close quarters combat that only people in Conquest are used to at this rate.
Yeah, I don't expect this to be a quick fight. Obviously, with people allowed an entire inventory of potions, they should be able to, providing they play right, last a fair while until, ideally, their potions are completely empty.
Some excitement. Oh, we've got Turkey Mania slain by Mason.
And then Mason goes down afterwards.
Followed by a nice big lag spike.
No idea what caused that.
I believe whatever town... Okay, I appear to have put myself in Dong Ding, so the green people should be Garama, I suspect.
In theory.
In theory.
Obviously, of course, they could team up with enemies on their continent if they feel they are the stronger PvPers. Is the pride of the continent rather than individual towns here.
It does appear that Garama's falling hard. I believe Tremor. I now Pepsi perhaps the remaining.
No.
Not quite the remaining. Chirpy J and Tremor the remaining, and it's looking bad for Garama. I believe
he's got a real uphill battle now.
Kauros only lost one, I believe, and it is a nearly a clean sweep. So the victory goes to Kauros.
Yeah, it tends to be what I'd expect to happen with these sort of things. As soon as one or two players go, the extra man advantage really makes a big difference, and you can really tune up after that.
Looks like in my haste of trying to mute chat, I forgot filtered. Might have to do something different for that. Let's go and turn off the chat. There we go. I should just about do the trick. Well, one would expect that Kauros will remain up for the next fight and go ahead and fight Ascalon.
Yep. And Ascalon without Skahoo. Skahoo not showing up, so, you know, possibly the favourites before. Maybe not anymore. Maybe Kauros can take this.
We do have some one new stream graphic coming up anyway, involving voting. It was a hectic rush to get it put together, but it works, and it should herald the beginning of a much more exciting and dense set or heavy set of stream graphics for all kinds of statistics and stuff like that when we get going. For once we begin season 5, we will look to end it with an official Loka tournament of our own, and go balls to the wall with features and stats and stream stuff. It should be great, but it'll still be a little while. So each additional tournament held by the community is a chance for us to polish these features and test them and get them working well. So
Indeed, yeah, we've learned a lot from the previous Silverhand tournaments, and you know they're really well run. And
they are. So I suppose while we wait, take some time to look at some of the advertisement. Hilo will always has an advertising spot with Silverhand, not to be like a surprise, but with their alliance. Valencia looks like they've gotten a bit of prime real estate on the battle floor as well, and then we have some more exciting stuff. Some washed up players apparently. Squid being one of them. Gab, Rip Gab, of course. Mountain's washed up too. Look at that.
Yeah, looks like we've got our 2 teams almost ready. So representing Ascalon this time, it'll be iWarrior, Calyx, Mountain Dew, Bat, and who's the last member? Boyle, I believe.
Aha. I've never even heard of this guy. Is he a name change? Is that the previous Skills boy? Or who knows?
No, I believe the
fresh
ending
import,
of the
huh?
name would be changed.
Alright. Spam the Twitch
Previously
stream
the
here.
Skills clan, now the Jew clan. It's like Karos are just grabbing a couple of extra pots just to make sure they're fully geared up, ready for this. It's going to be a good one. Possible you'll want to switch your town just to make sure you can see the 2 teams.
I do have, yeah, it would appear all of Ascalon is red for me, so it should be nice and identifiable.
There we go. Looks like both teams are ready. This will be for the winner of the Clash of the Continents. So.
And they're off.
Seems Karos inviting the pressure of Ascalon onto them. Interesting to see if they try and single out any specific player.
Inapp does look like he's getting targeted by Warrior and Calyx over here. Archer Squid peeling Calyx well. Bat following up with Archer on his ass. What was that? Calyx looks to go down.
Well, he left the game. I wonder.
Oh, it was a disconnection. Interesting. Well, I can't help. I cannot help.
Yeah. Classic problem with poor internet. And that's gonna really hurt Ascalon here. Down to 4 players.
Perhaps he'll log back on in time.
Bat holding his own pretty well, trying to save iWarrior from the Turkey and Kraken gang up.
The mountain appears to have gone down.
Down to 3. It's looking good for Karos here. Still possible to pull it back, of course. Boyle not
Doesn't
doing
look
too
good.
well against Inapplicable, but starting to swing the tide.
Oh, Inapplicable caught in a corner.
Well, they managed to get
combo.
2v2 here.
And
they've
M9F
got
goes
Inapplicable
down.
That is big.
That's
That
a big
is
hit.
There's a chance.
It occurs to me the downside of pod PvP is everybody's on fire, which means we can't see their health. Ugh.
iWarrior's been taking an awful lot of damage. I'll be surprised if he has any pots left, and I think he might be going down here. He does. Archer Squid does get him. iWarrior's been taking a lot of hits through this match. Seems to be sort of baiting a lot of the damage from the Karos team here. Bat in a 3v1.
It's going to be hard to win a 2v4 here for Team Ascalon, and Bat goes down.
And now it's just Boyle all alone. I think here
Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
might be the end. Trying to last as long as he can, but it seems like he is just delaying the inevitable now. And there he
So
goes.
that'll do it.
Karos takes it. Another 4 players left.
Let's see if the old replay system works. I think I clicked the wrong button now.
He can, but it seems like he is just delaying the inevitable now. And there he goes.
That'll do it.
Karos have that fight graphic showing up a second time.
Well, that's okay. It's a basic system. Very basic. I suppose that leaves Calros versus Garamo, or is that it?
Well, no. Basically, Ascalon were able to get the buy-in there because they are world capital. Obviously, the favourites as a result of that. But no, Calros were able to overcome them.
Is that rounded off for the opening?
So yeah, that should
continent?
be Calros crowned the winners of the first Clash of the Continents.
All right. Short and sweet. I like it.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, I'll be honest, I did expect some of those fights to go a little longer, but I guess once they got that sort of man advantage over the other team, they were able to just push home the advantage.
Well, I mean, you can't run away as far, you can't run away from people as well when it's a 5v5.
The lack of ender pearls, I think, will have contributed a lot, which they used to a lot in our conquest battles.
Very true.
So it really does show what a big impact they have on survivability.
That said, in a 1v1, you can kind of run away from a person for quite a while, which just tends to be one of the cases that draws the length of the 1v1s out so much more. So,
indeed, yeah.
Well, I think we could take a look at the bracket now. See what we've got ahead of us. If we go in order, looks like we're going to have Cold Pepsi and Parabolic as our first match. I do not know how the seeding was done. I don't believe it was based on skill. I think it might be random.
It's a complete random bracket, correct? Yeah. Only 16 players. The tournament was capped at a 16 player just to keep it a nice clean bracket, and totally random. So, you know, luck of the draw really. No losers bracket either. So
right,
you've really got to make it count.
But that should mean that these are all best of 3, right? Every single one of them.
They are all best of 3 all the way to the end, yeah. So in theory, the stronger player should make it through each time. But obviously, you know, if you have a bad fight, then it could all be over pretty quickly.
One of the bigger changes put into these events since the last few we've had is to turn off PvP everywhere but the arena. So while that means maybe less exciting beheadings going on in the arena stands, I think it should mean that players who want to actually come and just watch are able to do so without getting murdered. Which is, I think, a big help for tournament organizers, as it were, because they're not having to bring the muscle in order to keep the the peasants ruly, as it were.
So the rules for these 1v1s are the same gear as the Clash of the Continents. We've got the set of enchanted armor, a sword or axe, a bow again. They can't use tipped arrows, but again, enchantments on all of those items are fine. As many food and health, speed, fire resistance, and strength pots as they wish. They are restricted to those 4 potions, though. And yeah, just no enchanted shields to prevent elongated fights from unbreaking, I guess.
Once Mr. P types in a special super secret command, there we go. You will get the opportunity to vote for whomsoever you feel will win. You can change your vote, by the way, as much as you'd like. We'll let it run for a little bit and then see how we think it works. See how we think it goes anyway. And, off they go. I'll throw the votes up real quick, see what happens. Parabolic ahead, Cold Pepsi 54 to 46%, so a pretty even spread. So it could be anybody's match at this point.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I have a favorite.
We've got, yeah, I'd say they're pretty evenly matched players, both fairly strong. I do expect one of these players to go fairly far in the tournament. Nice exchange of hits on the bridge.
Oh, no shields, I believe, as you said, right? Yeah. Or is this a choice that they're making?
It appears to be a choice. I do believe they're allowed a shield, but it cannot be enchanted. So,
Okay, so there's a good
obviously,
chance it
by
could be.
choosing the food route with the offhand, allowing them to refresh hunger slightly quicker.
Got the purple arrow trails, a sign of a stat-tracked bow. Only 100 orbs, and nowadays you can customize the stats that your stat-tracking items show. Fairly recent development.
The fairly cagey approach from Parabolic. Seems to be trying to keep his distance.
Paraboil C, huh?
Well, I mean, I think that's probably the best way we're going to go about that name, is it not?
I suppose. Para it is, perhaps for short.
Indeed. Cold Pepsi almost being knocked out back into the entrance of the arena there.
The delicate dance of swords. And a little bit of a food break.
Indeed, as I say, both players very wary of dying in this very first round. They want to keep it going for as long as possible. I mean, if they've still got an inventory full of potions, then no need to play too aggressive. So it could come down to a battle of attrition and how efficient you are with your potion use.
I fear this will be the case with most pot PvP battles, as I would argue 70% of all pot PvP is running, but Para goes down.
To Cold Pepsi. Just have Calyx join us.
I fear this will be the case with most pot PvP battles, as I would argue 70% of all pot PvP is running, but Para goes down.
Hello.
Welcome,
Hello
Calyx.
there. One thing to note, I do believe the stream title is displaying slightly incorrect from
Mine and Milam versus Elo. Whoops. I can change that.
Let's change that one up quickly.
Would that I wish I could like have it ask me what I want to stream. Like when I click the start stream button, it'd be nice if it'd be like, what do you want to call it?
So yeah, this will be a round 2, obviously best of 3, so Parabolic would need to win the next 2 rounds to stay in the tournament and go through to the next round.
See how the if the votes have changed at all. I suppose you could run it again. Yeah, I suppose if Mr. P wanted to run the tournament, the vote thing, it clears them out. Could be we could see what the if the vote decides change based on the first match and the second
We've
match.
got some very drunk spectators in the stands. I hope that is an Archer Squid, our current reigning champion. It may prove a problem later on if he is
No, let him be drunk. Let him be drunk.
off his face, but
I believe with Cold Pepsi's win, the votes have actually shifted in favor of Cold Pepsi now, as you can possibly imagine.
Wait. Hold on. You mean to tell me that people are bandwagoning?
No, certainly, probably not.
Unheard.
Except maybe.
A slander upon Lokans, like the likes of which we have never heard.
Except probably about 5 minutes
compared with
ago.
our last Silverhand tournament, this one may take a little more time between bouts with people having to restock on a full inventory of potions. So we'll have to be a little patient between these rounds, but with no losers bracket, it should speed along nicely.
I have a theory it'll be exactly the same amount of time, possibly.
I do have reliable source of information that Archer is clean. He has
Archer is clean.
No steroids. No
yeah,
HGH?
indeed, he's completely clean. He has been tested, and will be a fair fight in the final.
Here we go, round 2.
We're off. It seems we have a Mexican standoff. Cold Pepsi baiting by throwing a potion on the floor. Very interesting tactic. I don't quite know what he's trying to pull here. Closing the gap nicely there in the end. Did waste a potion in doing so though.
Parabolic playing very evasive.
I believe you mean Paraboil C.
That's just,
Oh, Parabolic caught in a really bad place, and Pepsi dominated him, and will go on.
Once you get
And
caught
he-
in that water, it can be really difficult to get out again, and once they chain you, that can be it.
I did
well,
not.
Pepsi says we don't even get time to argue about the name. He's not.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I didn't even hit the replay save button on that one. Holy cow!
Good fight though. Cold Pepsi going through to the next round. A tough first round opponent for Parabolic there.
We'll just call it Para. It's easier for us all. Needed to remember to hide join and leave messages for my spectator mode as well. Calyx is off to
Hey, vote for me.
fight. Vote for me. Calyx for a princess.
Oh, with the previous disconnect. I mean, who knows? It could happen again.
And they're off. Calyx
Boyle
nice.
really caught off guard. Almost like he didn't see him coming. And getting low already. He's going to need to pot up real quick. Just managed to pull it off.
Oh, and Calyx is a disconnection
And
again.
there's the DC. As predicted.
Why
I'm
do you
not
keep
flying.
doing that, Calyx?
I'm not flying though. I just got kicked for flying. I'm very confused.
And we'll have the admins turn the fly check off for this immediate moment.
That'd be appreciated.
I guess you're gonna have to win the next two then, huh, Calyx? Maybe you should have stopped
So
trying
it's-
to cheat, actually. Oh, I wasn't even watching that entire fight. I left it on the brackets, so that's a pretty cool thing I did just then. Let's see what the votes look like. Calyx won with 69% of the votes. However, I don't think anybody took into account his hacking, so we'll have to see if Calyx can reverse sweep his way right back on forward.
Apparently the Skahoo client is detectable now.
Well, we are ever vigilant on our anti-cheat,
Indeed.
despite what many people probably think. And we should say that there's been a couple bug fixes on the anti-cheats of late, so maybe some of the more annoying things that people have been getting laggy or kicked for might be fixed. It doesn't look like Fly is one of them, though, unless you're Calyx.
Hey.
I'd expect to see a shift in the votes with that one though.
Round two. Let's see if Calyx can... Oh, he gets him caught. Almost taking Boyle down.
Boyle coming back nicely in that little exchange. He was looking rather low then, but managed to get a few solid hits with Calyx. Leaving that potion really late, and I think that might have
Ooh.
cost him.
Ooh, and ahead.
Managed to get it
Yeah,
down,
ahead.
but
How exciting.
low then, but managed to get a few solid hits with Calyx. Leaving that potion really late, and I think that might have
Ooh.
cost him.
Would that the river turns red over time as people die in it. That'd be cool.
Tad ambitious, but I like it.
So
As
hi-
soon as you code it, Crypt, we'll have it.
I don't think I can change the color of water, unfortunately. It'd have to be done purely through biome coloring.
Well, texture packs, of course. Yeah.
Well, but then it's like all or none, really. I don't have.
Indeed, indeed.
Speaking
One
of
day.
texture packs, here's a great time for me to plug the Loka Plus resource pack made by everyone favorite Guardian Skahoo, available on the Loka forums and ultrabot.com.
Everyone's favorite mal-present Guardian Scoohoo, that is to say.
Indeed, indeed.
Round 3. Can Calyx pull the reverse sweep and go on to the next round?
Looking really low here. If Boyle can get a couple of really big hits in, that's... Oh no, he didn't take full advantage there.
The power of the supporter comes through as Calyx defeats Boyle.
Only down to 1 heart at the end though. That could have easily swung either way.
Oh Jesus, why am I
Oh
trapped?
no, he didn't take full advantage there. Very, very close fight.
The power of the supporter comes through as Calyx defeats. Calyx, our very favorite commentator, will go on. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you'd like to look at it. To fight Cold Pepsi in the second round.
Oh, I like to think that I am very unfortunate.
Inapplicable versus Captain Kraken. Teammates in the Clash of the Continents fight. So, one Calrosian is going to have to leave the tournament here.
It does look like a pretty strong favoring on the votes. Let's bring them up and see what everybody has to say. Oh goodness, Inapplicable with 90% of the public favor on this next match. That should that is quite telling.
I'd say.
I like to see.
Recently been proving himself a very.
I hate to break it to you, but that pie chart does seem to have its percentages awfully backwards.
Oh, you know, you're right. The colors are backwards. How's about that?
Pie charts can be tricky. I understand that of all the graphs,
Depends on how rushed you
pie
are.
chart is the most challenging.
Well, I think I can fix that in the background. Not to worry.
It's all right, you know. Part of our Lokan charm is the occasional hiccup every.
Maths
here
is
and there.
hard, guys. Stay in school, or you'll end up like that.
All right, and they're off.
Inapplicable throwing all of his pots down, fire res, speed, etc. straight off the bat. And Kraken really trying to close the gap. Really nice strafing there, avoiding all of the arrows.
Indeed, Inap not the strong showing on the bow, but I expect him to be good in this melee combat.
Oh, getting some really strong hits there. Captain Kraken struggling to get away, and he couldn't quite make it.
And
Good
that's
5 or
what I'm
6
talking
strong
about.
crits chains.
Those big
That is
crit
rough.
chains. Good in this melee
Really gonna
combat.
mess up your day. Oh, getting some really strong hits there. Captain Kraken struggling to get
Oof.
away, and he couldn't quite make it.
Not to
Public's
worry.
got it right so far.
Not to worry. We plan and train for these things. Everything will be okay. Now, quick, how do I program?
Talk to a rubber duck.
I'm not even sure what that means.
You're a programmer, Crypt. You don't know about the rubber duck method?
Apparently I don't.
No wonder why your code's so buggy.
I need to investigate. I think I know what to do. I just need to switch this thing with that thing. And all will be right in the world. Why, yes.
Back and ready. Captain's come up to his spot. Yap just needing to win this round to get through. They're off.
They are off.
I wonder if Captain will try and keep his distance this time. His bow work did seem to be slightly stronger, so closing the gap may not be in his favour.
I say,
And now after the not quite so recent anymore change to bows, they hurt, so it's a viable method of applying damage.
Oh, Captain coming off really badly in that exchange. Still has yet to land a hit, and finally does.
goodness gracious.
Oh, but
So quickly.
Inap just keeps up the pressure.
A very strong showing there from Inap. That exchange still has
He
yet
may
to
be the
land
one
a
to beat
hit,
this
finally does.
I would
Goodness
definitely put him as
gracious.
one of the
So
favorites
quick.
coming in. He's just started good and just keeps improving. Made quite a splash at the last tournament too.
Picked up an extra percentage in the votes as well.
Now we've got the coy viewer there. He saw the first round. They know what's up.
Tournament's moving along pretty nicely. Some of these more lopsided matchups are happening. I think once we get a couple even pairings. We might see some longer fights.
Yeah, another couple of teammates from the Clash of the Continents, Bat and Mountain Dew.
We don't have to talk about that. It's all Squid's fault.
Bat's not
He
too
bailed.
confident coming into this one, I don't think. I think Mountain's a fairly decent opponent for him. So
Yeah, Mountain's been
I
putting
think it
in
might be a
lot
close
of
one.
work. So I would not be surprised to see him give Bat a good run for his money. Although these
Bat
Valenti
trying to sort out
boys,
his inventory there. Mountain getting the jump on him.
Battle of the Stars here. Battle of the S titles as well.
these Valentia boys, playing it risky with those drinkable pots and not the splash potions.
Nobody's going
Yeah,
for
much-
shields, I've also discovered or noticed.
Unless the rules have changed since they were originally posted, which is possible.
I'm not certain. I didn't do my homework, I can tell you that for sure.
Shields are allowed on enchanted shields only,
Okay.
is the rule.
Perhaps the thought
I
is
guess with potion PvP, with the full enchantments as opposed to the kit PvP, shields are less desirable. But I still expect to see a few. They can be really good at breaking these combo chains. Some players are able to get off.
Definitely, but I know that a lot of players in the potion setting really prefer that offhand food.
it's a
It
little
can be a
easier,
lifesaver
yeah.
at times. That saturation is massive. Getting that passive regen off of it can really save you.
Speaking of which, Bat looking for some regen here, but Mountain interrupting his meal.
Bat's struggling to get a hit off here.
He's doing a lot of nice jumping, but none of his swords connecting, that's for sure.
Bat having
Lots
to
of-
escape.
Lots of dodging from both sides, but Bat's finally taking some more hits.
Oh,
and
Bat chose a
Bat's
really
got a few
delicate
hits in
point.
there. Bat is in real trouble now, and this might be it. If he
oh,
gets
and the
stuck in
river
the
might
water,
spell his doom.
Now that bloody effect is merely visual, but it is the, again, stat tracking on a sword can give you a chance to make your opponent
Bat
look
down
to
to
bleed.
half a heart before he managed to pop that potion. He must be really low. If Mountain plays the long game here, he should be able to outlast him.
Yeah, Bat's just been on the defensive, burning potions here. Really.
He's
And
trying
the-
to sort out his
oh, and he does take him
inventory.
down.
There we go. Chance.
Also, Crip mentioned the bleeding effect on stat tracking swords. Stat tracks can be bought with orbs. Loka.com/store.
Don't forget, you
Yeah,
can also
Bat's
get them
just
through
been on the
voting as well.
defensive,
So
burning potions
get your
here.
free
Really.
orbs just by voting.
Lots
So
of
trying to sort
orbs.
out his
Oh, and he does
inventory.
take him down.
Voting. All you gotta do is click a couple buttons every day.
Slash
Shameless
vote for those of
promotion.
you curious. Mountain Dew picked up the majority of the favor with 57% of the votes on this matchup.
Yeah, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how pie chart is supposed to look.
Everybody gets. It only takes 2 tries to get it right. Let's see.
Interesting. One of the viewers, Tremor, managing to get all of the votes correct so far. He's picked right every time.
Is that so?
Indeed.
I believe I have as well.
Oh, believe.
But then
Oh,
again-
good. I believe with OBS I can use a hotkey to now show votes. Oh, sweet Jesus, it's beautiful. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Well, the only problem is I didn't make an animated out effect, but that's okay. Can't win them all.
Mountain Dew's percentage going up. Well,
Also, I'm not sure why it needs to be a big white box. I'm sure it could be a little more subtle, but we all. I'm more worried about the tech, and then that's show. Somebody who knows how to use graphics better than I can, props. Get in
here's
there.
Blooper 4000 is our drunk culprit in the stands.
I'm sure he will
Taking
not be
full
alone
advantage
today.
of Epic Afro Ninja's stall, I imagine, outside.
Bat goes for an aerial strike and misses.
He's got some really good hits on Mountain there. He might be able to quick drop him. Mountain getting those potions off nice and quick there.
Under the, Oh, and Mountain Dew does walk away with the victory in the end.
Indeed, knocking Bat out.
Takes 2 out. Or takes Bat out in 2, rather.
Some might say that
Under the,
bit washed up.
Oh, and Mountain Dew does walk away with the victory.
Don't forget, you can still pick up your items from the Silverhand gift shop outside the stadium. It is still running.
Mountain Dew will go on to fight Inapp in the second round. Our next matchup, Corrupted Skills, or Corruptful, now known as... No. Yes, that's right. Is Shockop.
Yep. Now Shockop. Yeah.
Don't know that he meant for that to be public knowledge, but I think it was pretty well known by everybody. So. Taya, it will be his opponent.
Indeed.
And it's the fifth bout of the day, excluding...
Enemies on the battlefield, normally these two, so it'll be interesting to see how this fight goes down.
Yeah, they're
Neither
actually...
will want to lose this.
They've actually got a bit of a rivalry going here as Taya's town, just a couple tiles away from Shockop's town.
The beautiful Chirpy J over here with glowstone in her hand is thanks to Optifine lighting up the small area around her. Or whatever the hell it is. I think there's a duck on her head. I couldn't be told, to be honest.
It looks like a platypus to me.
Sure. Yes, I think. Yes, obviously. Correct.
Yeah.
And a little bit of puke bloopers.
Particularly not a bird like a duck. That is an important distinction. They are mammals, believe it or not.
Speaking of ducks. Hi. Or perhaps a lack thereof. In
Waiting
more
on-
ways
It
than
looks
one.
like they're ready. Just waiting on Shockop to get all of their potions in order.
Looking for the vote prompt to come up here too, hopefully, so we can get our votes in. No word from the tournament organizers as to the delay, other than
Yep, just Shockop trying to make sure they have a gear that is not damaged. I believe they're just
But
preparing that now for.
But he is here, and here we go again. Oh. We got the 3 and the 2, but no 1.
what?
Counting can be challenging, much
There
like
we
pie
go.
charts.
I'm gonna have to. Well, I will. It's on the stream. Who I voted for, so I can't really be sneaky about it. Shockop not looking up, not looking.
Oh dear,
To,
that's not gonna
oh
be good.
boy, he's gonna get dropped. He makes it
Hey,
out before getting quick dropped. Okay, thank goodness.
And that's what I was talking about with Mountain and Boyle, those drinkable pots. You don't realize how much time it takes, especially when it's a 1v1 fight.
Shockop down to the one heart. Can he get this
It's
potion
valuable
off?
time.
He's having to drink it.
Oh, he did a really bad play, getting stuck in the water, and his panic only tried to do was run forward.
Lack of
Really
splash
wasn't.
potions.
I think he was caught off guard pretty heavily there.
I mean, you
Having
gain
to
the
drink
advantage.
it.
of
Oh, he did a
potions,
really bad play, getting stuck in the water, and his
it-
panic only tried to do
if
was
you throw
run
them right at your
forward.
feet,
Really
it's
wasn't.
very minor.
Indeed. I
It's only
certainly
a
don't
matter
think
of
it's
2 or
worth
3
it.
seconds. And
I do
considering
wonder if it's down
how-
to a lack of resources or just a pure tactic. I really don't know.
I think it's actually more of just sort of habit. A lot of people in Conquest are just sort of used to using drinkable potions, as there isn't a huge need for the urgency of splash potions. But in these 1v1s, you need every second you can get.
Yeah, often in Conquest, your teammates can come in and distract the opponent or defend you as you're trying to get your potions off. But
Yep.
but here, there's nowhere to hide. And
Yep.
you spend a few seconds too long, and you're going to get quick dropped.
To note, Archer Squid will have to defend his championship or champion title today in order to keep it against the winner of the tournament.
Once again, Shockop late out the gate. Just about made it out in time now.
Thankfully, didn't take as much of an early beating from it, but
Indeed, but these health potions are my concern with him. He's really... Oh, he has got some splash.
I'm sure he has splash health, but he had drinkable speed and strength.
Again,
Oh,
chose way too late to eat. Tell you capitalized on that immediately.
Yeah, that's a
He has got some
danger.
splash. Here goes through to.
Oh, I'm sure he has
splash.
splash. It takes a lot of courage to look a man
Again,
in the hole
chose
while you
way too late
try to
to,
eat that steak. Because he can turn around and beat you down.
pull it out of your mouth and then slap you with it until you die. And then you take it for himself.
Yeah,
It's a hardcore
real
world of
brutal
Loka.
stuff.
In the frigid wastelands of Calyx. One of the few.
It's a mind man eat mind man world out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And one of the few more temperate zones of the north, Silverhand has always been a strong beacon of, I wouldn't say peace, but certainly organization and structure. It does seem that they've pulled back slightly in the War of Ages. Content to host tournaments rather than try to take territories. Next up, Turkey Mania and Sir MultiAir.
And we finally get to see some intercontinental Oh no, wait, last match wasn't intercontinental. I'm tripping myself up all over the place. But yeah, finally some north versus south action.
And some proper mind man action, yes. When I do an instant replay, it has my voice during the replay in it, so it's just you talking in the replay and you talking in real time at the same time. Might want to fix that. Is the replay playing audio from the replay, or please to clarify? And they're off. Sir MultiAir with a MultiAir, however you want to call it. First to use a shield, I believe, in this day's matches.
He is indeed carrying that Cynthian heraldry.
Decorated in a beautiful purple. Lots of good blows being traded, but Turkey seems to have been on the defensive of most of this.
Yeah, but he got away with a chance to eat there. MultiAir didn't punish him very much for it, and Turkey's actually taking the upper hand now as Mult tries to eat.
Wow, the shield comes into play to stop combos. Now this is the kind of thing a shield can be useful for. At the risk of switching away from it to eat, however.
Shield definitely is putting up a good defense, but even still, MultiAir is on the defense. Turkey is putting up some good pressure here, making him use a lot of pots. Although it looks like the tables are turning a little bit. Turkey on the run, repotting.
Lots of missed hits.
Yeah, that shield really buying MultiAir some time. Turkey too afraid to come in for some hits, and just gives him that time to repot and get that saturation back up. It's working out fairly well.
And you'll notice now that their MultiAir just popped his speed and strength, so they're going to be disjointed on that. Turkey's going to have to repot while Mult still has his strength and speed up if they get that far.
Lots of bleeding going on by both parties here. You don't see them; they're very hard to see. But between each match, an invisible force of janitors come out to clean up the pitch. It's necessary, but thankless job. MultiAir, not much health left, but chasing Turkey down all the same.
And Turkey is going to be able to repot now, so he's got that speed and strength back up. So that's the boon of those splash potions, making sure you can stay competitive and not put yourself at too much risk.
It does seem like the shield's making this fight in particular last a little longer than usual. So
I think it is contributing, but I would also say that this is looking to be a pretty even fight overall. It seems like they're both playing it a little bit safe, giving each other some some decent respect here.
Sir Malt only had 52% of the vote, so it does seem like the audience is equal in their agreement of this even matchup here.
But Turkey taking a big risk eating there as Malt bears down on him, but no crits coming out. A bit strange, if you ask me. Oh, and there's
A
Turkey
broken
critting
shield.
Malt while he eats.
Looks like we're coming to a head now. Some good pots by Turkey, but Malt keeping the pressure up. Uh-oh,
Now the
they're
tables
caught in the water.
They're both in the water. Heals
Managed to get out.
himself and his opponent. Still manages to get some good hits off on Turkey, and now they're both looking to eat. And now, strangely, Malt, given the opportunity, is not putting that food in his offhand. Now that his shield's gone.
The running game. Not sure what is to be accomplished by this, to be honest. A lot of running and a lot of swinging, not a lot of hitting, and not a lot of dying. Could do with a little more of the last thing, but maybe that's just me.
You see, what you've got to observe here is the beautiful dance they're doing. Running in figure eights around each other. It's really the beauty of the movement.
It was a hell of a fight, I will say that much.
Definitely giving each other a battering. No one wants to take the risk to try and really close it out. Although I would imagine that they're starting to deplete their pots.
Oh,
Fair
Turkey
bit.
got a nice bit of combos on Malt there, but he doesn't go down, and the fight
And
continues.
MultiAir's on that defensive, running away. But he turns around. I'm starting to get a little bit dizzy just watching.
Somebody kill somebody. Oh,
And there
Turkey
you
goes
go.
down, and Malt walks away. The victor. Yes, like I said.
It's alright, guys. Crip's not drunk. He's just Crip. I'm starting to get a little bit dizzy.
Uh-oh. It does appear I had the audio from the replay playing rather than my own mic.
And let's see now. I wonder if MultiAir brought more shields. Taking a look at his shulkers, I think he has not. So that'll be an interesting change, unless he pulled some out of his ender chest.
An even split, 50% of votes for both participants in this right now. That is impressive.
Yeah, they had it real down to the wire there. I wouldn't be surprised if they go that way again. And it looks like Malt in fact, does not have a second shield as he's coming up to the arena with pork chops in his offhand.
A new strategy there.
So that'll be a important difference to look at going into this fight. See if he's still able to get away from some of that pressure that Turkey's applying to him. And while we wait for Turkey to repair his gear, I'd like to remind everyone to buy Hilo Wool, one of our fine sponsors today. Hilo Wool is the finest lovingly grown Calrosian wool from Latane's very own world-famous sheep farm. And we're also brought to you today by the cause of Valentia. Mountain Dew needs members to pay his taxes because Scoo's a meanie who charges too much. So join Valentia. Help Mountain cry less. Love you.
Much love, much love. What's the holdup? What's the holdup? Oh, is he coming? I believe he's ready.
It would appear so, and
The admins were sick
He counts
on
down.
the block jumper. And the match is on.
here we go. They're all potted up.
Looks like the shield... Malt was able to find a shield after all.
Oh, someone coming in clutch for Malt here. Malt able to bring out a lot of early pressure on Turkey. Turkey, however, responding in kind, and now they're just beating each other up here. Real vicious fight as Turkey's looking to get some health pots off. Malt backing away.
Almost a total fight reset.
Oh, and it looks like MultiAir's moved to drinkable pots. He might be out of splash pots. So if the fight does go on long, he might get caught out trying to replenish those. But for now, he seems to be getting the better of Turkey in these exchanges, making him burn several health pots. Both fighters popping lots of health pots, just really turning into a slugfest here. And Turkey's getting hit trying to eat.
This is a very,
He's gonna pop some more potions.
very resource-heavy fight right now.
Absolutely, both fighters just brawling with each other and burning a lot of pots.
See you, Calyx.
Yep. I'm gonna have to watch the rest of this one from the stream because I don't want to spawn in the arena.
Looks like your body was floating in the arena a bit.
Was indeed.
there it goes.
So.
Okay, and the fight continues. I think both participants were slightly alarmed by your sudden appearance of a floating NPC body. I think they've... Oh dear. Sir Malt almost got nailed by Turkey. I'm not sure what they were trying to do there, but that was rough. Thought your internet was supposed to be good, Calyx.
That wasn't me. It says server kicked me for bad packets. I don't know what that issue is. It's probably
Quit
me.
hacking, for God's sake. Oh, somehow somebody's managed to puke into the arena. Probably
If there's a place to puke, Lokans will find a way to puke into it.
That's for sure. This fight's taking forever. I'd like somebody to kill somebody else. I think that would be good. And
That is the end goal here.
they
It's important
pause
to
for
note.
a full fight reset once more. I'm unsure if these combatants aren't merely not as confident with their abilities and chasing down in the end, or what's going on. But it is important to note, first-time viewers of this tournament, that the players don't see the health. Only I can, and only people in admins and spectator mode can. So they have all the usual blindnesses of PvP that you're used to seeing. Although, like I said, with the fire over their heads, the health is a lot more difficult to parse. Unless they're not on fire, of course. Still dancing around. Nobody really willing to go in for that killing blow just yet. Look like they're both content to just let somebody die on accident almost with the last couple of hits, because I don't think they're going to let themselves get low before they run away. Oh, and Turkey takes Malt down in the end.
And the triumphant return of Calyx.
How triumphant it is.
Indeed.
Yeah, we'll wrap
Computer
up those
problem.
two.
Fun, kid.
2 more matches left in the first round before we can enter the Elite 8 section of the tournament. Nationalistic and Oblivion Sollux.
For those of you who aren't aware, a couple of recent name changes. Nationalistic, formerly known as the Smiling Flea, and Oblivion Sollux, the artist formerly known as Nova Sollux, formerly known as Zephyrix. Just because keeping up with Who's Who wasn't challenging enough. Also, Crypt, if you could just pop me back into spectator.
Ah. You got it.
Sir. Alright. Looks like we're ready to go. Nationalistic, no time for bows. Just wants to smack Oblivion with his sword. Oblivion also using the shield. Our second competitor to do so. Let's see how he decides to make use of it.
Whoops. Falling behind on my cameraman duties. Okay, we're back.
Ooh, and a lot of big crits coming out for both sides. But
Ooh.
looks like Oblivion is on the receiving end, but Nationalistic stuck in the river. He's got to get out of there. And he will. Some good turnaround
Some
punch
knockback
bows.
bow action. I was not expecting to see a lot of that. But in the river, that's a pretty good idea if I may say so myself.
Indeed. Very good at creating some space if you can land those shots. And they're just trading blow after blow. Oblivion's going to let Nationalistic run away to eat there, which I think is an interesting choice. Because he had him... He was pretty healed up himself. And you'll notice the Nationalistic using the golden carrots, the highest saturation food in the game here. Really looking to get the most bang for his buck. Ooh. And he'll knock down Nova in the first round.
I went into Nationalistic cam and then didn't realize he was about to kill so fast. I didn't quite catch the murder, but it was there. 69% of the votes go to Nationalistic. The pretty strong opinion from the audience on this one. I think it's partially
another one of
conclusion.
Nationalistic, another of Calros's reputable PvPers. Definitely on the up and up as far as conquest goes.
Wonder what happened to our friend from across the pond, Magpie.
I believe he did mention earlier that he wasn't very thrilled with the starting time of the tournament, as he had an impromptu Saturday roast in the oven.
That's the most British thing I've ever heard. He does have a way of eating right whenever anything happens.
Oh, he does indeed. Leave it to Magpie to have his roast a whole day early and miss part of the tournament.
Well, his ears are burning. He
Well,
just took off. Look at that. We were quite literally just talking shit about you.
I know.
Speak of the devil, and thus he shall appear.
No, a lesson to all you out
Wait a minute, hold on. Skoohoo.
Decorating,
Didn't work.
Attempting to paint the walls with wine turns out to be a very
Magpie, you
difficult
did.
task.
What possibly could have the action's so exciting that you couldn't keep your hand still? You're shaking?
In essence, yes. Yes,
Oh,
that's
wow.
basically the crux of it. So.
Oh, well, good thing it's not a red
That's fine.
staining like liquid, is it?
Oh, yes, thank God. God, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
Didn't happen to be a carpeted floor, did it?
Oh, of course.
Oh, man.
Speaking of staining things red, let's hope we get some blood here in the second round of Nationalistic and Oblivion Sollux. Definitely laying out some big damage in the beginning, running off in the same direction the pot. Now they've separated for a bit of long-range combat.
Oof, some knockback on that one.
Potion management pause, and he's back.
Big crits coming out. Oblivion having to pop a bunch of health pots. And I'm noticing a lot of these fighters, they're going in, they're exchanging big hits, they're brawling, but when one disengages, the other usually also opts to let them go, which is an interesting strategy in the 1v1.
The term I like to refer to as cagey. Calyx.
Yes. The return of KG. That's that classic Magpie commentary we were lacking.
That dry British wit. You can't get that in an American sometimes.
Oh no, not dry. Haven't you heard? He's been down in wine.
Well, I guess he's quite wet tonight. That's true. Himself and his environ. Oh, Nationalistic with an attempted bow boost fails.
Getting really low there.
Ooh, and
Oblivion not.
Oblivion's actually gonna let him get out of the river scot-free. Could have been a very bad spot there, but instead we're back to this bow fight. And of course you'll be seeing those purple bow particle effects and the sound of a shulker shooting. That's a stat track bows have a chance to do that every time you shoot. Buy a stat track with orbs, loka.com/store.
LokaMC.com/donate.
Oh. Shoot,
It should be /store. I don't know why I haven't fixed
I
that
thought it
yet.
was /store.
Well, it might work both. Both might.
Heard it both ways.
This music got awfully somber. Switch that up a little bit. Ooh. Hiding in the cubbies is Nationalistic here. Uh-oh. Nationalistic has the potential to punish for the water here. And Sollux gets out just barely. Jumping dance for a little bit. And they will retreat to
Disengage to eat. And also, to clarify, it is lokamc.com/donate. I was mistaken, however, the tab on the website does read store.
Yeah, well, it used to be donations.
We like to mix it up. We like to mix it up.
We don't
Evening.
like our players being too complacent with what they think they know.
You want to give us money, you got to be on your toes.
That seems antithetical to the whole point that we're going for. But you know what? We like to
Besides,
get...
because of the enchantments on the bow, they can have infinities. So, in essence, they have a never-ending supply of arrows.
And it would take an awful long time for them to break those bows. So yeah, it is very much infinite. However, what might not be infinite is their armor. I don't know how many players are opting to carry ancient ingots with them into the arena.
I'm not sure if
So
those are allowed, but I feel like I would have seen some in action by this point.
A lot of swinging and missing going on.
You You would be right. There are no ancient ingots to be permitted in the arena, so armor breaking is definitely something to look out for in those late matches. Boots and helmets can break quicker than you think, and can mean the turning the tide of the fight if they do.
Oh, Sollux getting very low, trying to bow to get some distance between him. I don't.
Oh, he's
I-
stuck under the
obviously-
But
bridge,
he's
though. That's
backed
not gonna do
himself
good
under
for
the
him.
bridge.
Oh, and he
And-
did get shoved under right where that troll belongs.
Ooh.
I can imagine he had no pots left on his hotbar, was trying to build some distance for a bit of inventory management, but couldn't quite pull it off, getting pushed under that bridge, and it's game over from there.
Not to call him a troll per se, merely getting under a bridge is never a wise thing to do.
So that wraps up that one. Moving on to the last round one match of Steve versus iWarrior.
Is it I Warrior I? Or as I like to call him, I Warriori.
Ori.
Aye.
God damn it, Chris.
Hey, Mag's the one that insisted on calling him Paraboil C, so
That is how it reads.
that is how it reads. He's not
I
wrong.
must stand by the letters.
Oh, I thought because I could have sworn his name in like Discord and on the forums was actually Parabolic.
It is. That's the,
Oh, it is?
That's the meme, isn't it?
All right, now I'm just lost.
So it
Well,
appears-
I don't think he
Yes.
I don't think he could get the
Wrong.
Minecraft name Parabolic, so he's Paraboil C.
strong northern representation. 3, 2, and 1.
Steve and iWarrior. Where did it go? Steve, owner of Pavis, iWarrior. I believe is a member of Draco. Relatively new to the server.
I do believe
Although
Warrior's
is-
successes on the battlefield are not insignificant, however.
Yes, he is generally regarded as an up-and-coming talent in the PvP world. And he's looking to prove it here. Making
looking-
Steve play.
Oh, Steve with a
Play the
good
running.
couple of knockback bows to buy himself some room and some regen time. Warrior closes that gap pretty quick, though. Runs back in there with Steve to try to finish the job up. Steve not going down so easily just yet, though. He may be an angler, but he ain't no slouch. Again with the knockback bow. Warrior punishing Steve for any lapse in movement.
Very low on
here.
health here, Steve. I don't know whether he's going to get these pots off in time.
Warrior just unrelenting.
And sticks to him like white on rice. Oh, and does
Steve
end
will fall.
swiftly. Pretty decisive victory. there.
iWarrior just gave him no room to breathe. Just really made him play the game at his pace.
See where those votes wound up. 55% people voted for Warrior. That may change.
Fairly even split.
Yeah, I think not a whole lot of people are familiar with iWarrior. He's a bit of a quiet fellow, bit new around here, but I think after seeing him fight, he will definitely win some people over.
It'll be curious to see whether when the fourth Silverhand tournament next rears its ugly head, whether the arena itself will have any modifications. Though I wonder whether the combatants are getting a little weary of this static field here. It does have all the bits and bobs an arena should have, for sure. But I do believe that the Hilo tournament's multi-level arena and basic bare bones kit allowed for some pretty exciting three-dimensional combat, including arrow kills. Well, we've lost Calyx again.
Indeed, looking like Warriors getting Steve in a chain here. Steve ending up in the river, nearly under the bridge, just managing to jump in time. Steve not quite capitalizing on knocking iWarrior into the water there. And again, this chain is really strong for iWarrior. Steve trying to rearrange his inventory on the fly.
Steve tries to close open that gap with some knockback arrows, but misses completely. Steve not looking good on his back toes this entire time. Heel, I should say. If he's got back toes, then maybe that's the problem. Warrior looks to punish. Oh, and manages to hit him out of the water.
Steve always seems to be looking down this
barely.
spot.
Still trying to flee with those knockback arrows, but Steve hard pressed to even connect right now against Warrior. And he does
that's gonna be
inevitably
the end of it.
take him out. And that completes the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, iWarrior they're gonna go on to face Nationalistic.
Fast approaching the time at which I have to pick up my first beer from the fridge. And try to do what...
Very important deadline to meet.
Well, and try to learn from Magpie's mistake.
Indeed, I do recommend keeping it between the bottle and your body. It's not good anywhere else.
Would you like to paint us a picture of your exploit?
I think you already
it was
did.
magnificent.
I mean-
It really was. But yeah, we have learnt from our mistakes. Flailing arms and alcohol are not a good mix.
I will retreat to grab a beer and keep the stream going the right way. In case it starts while I'm
And
gone.
I will.
Yeah, looks like
I will
both.
retreat to go compete. So
Calyx is there ready, waiting for his opponent. He will of course be facing Cold Pepsi, again a best of 3, as it is throughout the entire tournament I believe. I don't think we have any special rules for the final, but it's possible. Just waiting for Cold Pepsi to get ready. He appears to be making his way up. I think we're about to get underway. They're off. Pepsi waiting for Calyx to make the approach. Got a couple of nice hits in there. Some good strafing going on. Cold Pepsi seems to be making most of the connections. Calyx coming back a bit here though. Trying to get that food in. Calyx struggling, Pepsi's got him on the run. Don't believe he got that carrot eaten in time, so he's still going to be trying to open that gap up so he can get his saturation back. But really struggling to find time to. I think that bow's just bought him enough time. Cold Pepsi very much the one on the aggression here. Interesting to see how many potions Calyx still has on his hotbar. I think he was having to move them around then. Pepsi getting him down to half a heart, but not quite able to finish the job. Again, Calyx blowing all his potions. I'd imagine he's used all the ones on his hotbar up again, and he'll be back to square one. Pepsi not closing him it. It's an interesting interesting bow jump there. Making his way over the river.
Looks like I haven't missed much yet.
No, it's been Cold Pepsi on the aggression most of the fight, but managing Calyx managing to get him there.
Fortuitous, I got back just in time. Whoops, I think I screwed up the replay. Oh, got enough of it. Close enough for go.
Yeah, no, Pepsi appeared to have him on the run pretty much the whole fight there, but that final exchange, Calyx coming off the better.
67% favor of cold Pepsi taking this one to town. Interesting. It's like the love for Calyx is all but gone.
Well, I think seeing Cold Pepsi's strong performance in round 1 and Calyx's DCs have probably counted against him now.
Yes, that's true.
So it's still best of 3, plenty of time for Cold Pepsi to get back into it.
Really look forward to having another, once we get Voda figured out, back up and running and queuable. Those were a lot of fun to cast, I remember now, because there's a lot more action.
Well, there's extra dynamics with the abilities
Yeah.
involved. And obviously when you're fighting for an objective at the same time, you've got, you've effectively got 2 objectives going on simultaneously. The capturing the point as well as the killing your opponents and buying yourself more time.
Right. Round 2, let's see if Pepsi can make his 67% vote favor work for him.
Again, Pepsi baiting Calyx onto him. And the dance
Pepsi's dropping
continues.
fast already, though. Calyx is not wasting any time at all. Oh, Pepsi having a hard time getting any connections.
Appears almost
Oh, and a
overconfident
reverse
on his
combo. Always get nervous over this corner over here. It's real easy to get stuck in a corner or in the water or both at the same time.
Indeed,
Okay,
players
really
often use it to try and build that gap so they can get off some food or potions, rearrange their inventory. Oh, Pepsi bringing out the bow now. Again, waits for Calyx to come onto him.
It's a bold move, but I'm not sure if it's a wise one.
Coming off the better of that little exchange, looks like they're both happy to sit, recoup, and then come back in. They've been very close fights.
Not a lot of, there we go. Not a lot of hits going on right now. A lot of dancing. A lot of sweeping.
Pepsi really struggling to make connection here, and this chain might finish him off. Getting those pots in just in time. But still, he might not be able to get away here.
Pepsi is really against a proverbial wall right here.
Calyx nearly missing completely with that health potion. Getting just a couple of health points off of it. This might be...
Oh. Calyx not sure
down
how
to
much...
half a heart and 1.5 hearts, and neither wanted to risk it, but Calyx getting the kill there. Knocking out Cold Pepsi.
Hello, friends.
Welcome back. You did it. Look at you.
I did indeed. I have continued to hold the torch of Eldritch in the absence of our disgraced former champion.
And in the absence of public support as well.
Yeah, well, Eldritch doesn't really expect that anymore.
Indeed.
We shall see how this next match goes. Inapplicable
Yeah,
versus
Inapplicable
Mountain.
versus Mountain will go on to face Calyx in the semi-finals.
That should be a fun one.
Inapplicable really dominating his first round match, so I would argue he's the favourite, but we'll let the public decide.
Yeah, I would say Inapp is definitely not someone I'd be looking forward to facing, that's for sure. Also,
Well, you might be looking forward to it.
Yeah, well,
You better start anyway.
Well, we got some support from Aaron in the stands. A few players cheering his name on.
funny you could just pop him back into spectator. That'd be appreciated. Thank you.
70% in favor of an inapplicable win here. That blue's a bit rough on the eyeballs, isn't it? That's okay.
Yeah. As I suspected, he is slightly favoured, but
Mountain Dew strong out of the gate.
Mountain can't
But
come
I
in.
would not count out Mountain. Mountain has definitely been putting in quite a
Yeah,
lot
I mean,
of work.
knocking out Bat is no mean feat, so certainly a strong PvPer himself. Getting off to a bad start there. Inapplicable getting some really solid hits
Oh,
in.
and a nice
But a good turnaround shot from Mountain. Now looks like they're really ready to go at it. Trading blows.
Yeah.
Inapp actually
Coming
getting
off
the
the
worst of
best
it. Ooh, he's got him in the corner. Can he escape? Inapp taking a lot of damage there, but Mountain not getting out scot-free. Inapplicable looking to repot. We'll get those off. Might give Mountain actually some more duration on his strength.
Oh,
Make his
down
way
the stairs for a quick pot and right back up. These are well.
Mountain might be able to get him here. Inapplicable managed to get a potion. Surprised Mountain didn't try and take advantage there. Inapplicable, he could have got him trapped
Yeah,
in the
no.
river.
I don't know if Mountain is aware of the pressure he's really putting on yet.
That is one of the biggest things that people on the stream might not realize. Is that you're looking at a player's health right above their heads, but in the moment, it's
They
It's
can't
definitely-
see it.
Yeah, they can't see
Indeed.
it now.
Oh.
I discussed that a bit earlier.
So,
Oh, yeah, you can see it through on the stream. You can see it.
indeed, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but-
but the players
yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
in the moment.
On the stream, you can see it, but in the arena itself, it's a tough one to keep track of between food and pots and crits and not crits.
Oh, inapplicable with a
Oh,
proper
but speaking
long
of crits,
combo. Oh,
Mountain trying to
Oh,
rearrange his
oh.
inventory, and I think he got away with that one. I think he's
Yeah,
just
Mountain
managed to
on the
recover.
run though. He might be on the ropes here.
This isn't looking good.
Trying to build that gap with a bow.
Four whiffs with the
missing.
bow. Mountain's gonna have a hard time getting out of this.
I think this might be it.
I'm surprised he's actually managed to make it this long. He's almost gotten away with it a bit.
And Inapplicable letting him recover
Oh.
and get back to where he was before. We've almost got a full reset here. Obviously, other than the potions used up, if the match does go the full distance.
Although
Mountain's
with all
doing
those
really
hits,
well.
keep in mind that Mountain's armor taking a beating.
There goes Calyx again. Classic.
Hey, it's part of my charm.
Sure.
It's quite a close one here.
Inapplicable with the kill.
Does get him in the end. I surprised Mountain lasted that long. He was really on the ropes for the majority of that fight. But it could have all turned around. He did have an opportunity there towards the end. Yeah, you see that at the end. Inapplicable just getting some really solid hits in there. That canny 1% once again. Noticing who wins the first round and changing the vote. Classic.
Not sure I've ever been donated to on Twitch, but if it's not a meme, I think we just
I
got
believe
donated
it.
$5 from whoever this Team Vic 12 person is. So thank you, sir. Or madam, I should say. Your donations go straight to bringing more members in for the server. The more the merrier. Round 2, let's see if Inapp can take out Mel. Swiftly.
Yeah, Mountain letting him come on to him there.
And again, Mountain quickly on the back foot. Oh, but Inapp's in the river.
Inapp in the river. Almost.
Oh,
got
he
him
might
a
fall
second
back.
time.
Almost got him in again.
Well, Inapp makes it out a number of times.
Oh, Mountain's
players
getting really low there.
off, but- Ooh,
Nope,
Mountain
distance.
escaping. Inapp choosing to eat. Very hotly contested here. And that's what I expected to see much more of. You saw Inapp go to eat there, and Mountain immediately turned around and charged to get some crits off.
Yeah, once you see the other player trying to build that distance or...
Yeah, if they don't respect their the distance while eating or drinking a potion, you can get 2-3 big crits off and really put them on the back foot. Speaking of which, Mountain's now chasing Inapp around the arena.
Combo for the ages there.
Inapp's burning pot after pot here, and Mountain still managed to get him into a corner.
Mountain smells blood in the veritable water here.
Oh, Inapp with a really good bow hit there, knocking Mountain into the river and preventing him finishing him off. Mountain's still on the aggression here. Might be able to get him
Even
down.
still, yeah. Inapp struggling to reset this here, and Mountain keeping up that pressure. Lots of pots burned from Inapp.
Again in the river.
And he's in the
Possibly
river,
in the corner
into
even.
the corner.
Oh,
And
Mountain.
Mountain, they both decided it's time to eat. They got hungry.
Dinner's the most important meal of the day.
Again, some good
Space
bow hits. He might
Yeah,
have
but a win
chance to
here
recover,
feeds
but-
their egos. So
Inapp getting some really solid hits, so he might be able to turn the tides now.
although he's once again letting Mountain go, I think. No, it just looks like to eat, but I think he might have repotted there as well. Lots of damage being traded. Oh, Mountain in the river, but still putting on some pressure. Oh, and Mountain's helmet is gone.
Oh, that's
Oh,
gonna
that's
be
gonna spell
big.
near death. Oh, we got him with an arrow, and I didn't even catch that on stream quite.
How
Calyx got so
about
excited he
that?
disconnected.
Wow.
I wish I had been looking the right way for that. That's incredible. Oh, that is just sublime.
Oh. I thought I smelled the end there. Helmet
That is-
breaking really increases the damage you take, but Inapp, he also smelled blood, got a bit too hungry, and
That
I
is
mean, to me,
disgusting.
that looked like a 180 no scope, in fact.
Boy, that really that makes this third match very.
that is a shot to remember right there. Wow.
Taking it to the deciding round.
I see that Mountain's been a little upset with me for my commentary last time. Thought I was a bit
Feels
too
what,
harsh on him, but
underrepresented?
today he's
Well, this is
Today
the
he's,
only second fight that's
looking
gone to a
to-
third round here, so
he's
very nice.
he's looking to prove himself there with quite the shot.
And it was critical. I mean, if that match had gone on much longer, that would have been it for Matt. And without that helmet,
Oh,
the damage you
absolutely.
take is incredibly high, and there's just no
Yeah.
way you can recover really.
Yeah, you have to remember that with a full set of diamond armor, you get an increased toughness value, which drastically reduces all the damage you take. And so it's not just the armor value of a helmet that you're losing. You're losing some efficacy on your entire set. So
Indeed.
it's pretty big when that piece breaks.
Yeah, helmet obviously the item with the least durability, so providing all items begin with the same durability, or the maximum, the helmet will be the first to play.
And if you have somehow managed to continue
Luckily, he
on
does have
without
a
your
second helmet as backup for this fight. Or he would have had a real uphill battle in this decider.
There's a palpable tension between these two fighters in this match. This match, I don't think Inapplicable thought he'd ever take it to a third match.
Oh, and Mountain really coming off well with these blows. Inapplicable having to try and build some distance, get those potions off. Mountain really doing well here.
I'd like to see a
Mountain.
360. I want to see a 360 no scope in this. Oh, man, my respect would be through the roof at that point.
Mountain definitely saying he will not go quietly after that first round where he got a bit beaten up.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light, he says. Oh, this is dare I say, the most exciting match of the evening thus far. Late afternoon, depending on where you live. Nope. Now they're both so excited, they can't even... Drop your potion there, Mountain. Okay, he got it. Mountain did not come with a knockback bow.
Which in the past would have
Dropped his
definitely been a faux pas, but again, the not quite so recent buff to bows, they can actually be a source of damage now too.
Yeah, I mean, it very much depends on what you're going for. Whether you're trying to build that distance with the bow and go in with the kill with the sword, or if you are trying to deal that damage, not having that knockback can really help.
Yeah, and a lot of players are sort of accustomed to just sort of shrugging off arrows, so that increased damage. If someone's not careful, they can go into a fight down a couple of hearts when they don't even realize it.
Mountain's got the upper hand here. Inapp's having a couple of potions in hand, but still lower on the health value. Mountain might be able to get him here.
Oh, Mountain defeats Inapplicable to move on to the semi-finals of the tournament.
I would call that the first upset of the day, an impressive one from Mountain.
Defying all the odds.
Showing a lot of fortitude there. He did not have a great showing in the first round, but he just
bit of revenge as well for the Clash of the Continents.
Taste of his own medicine.
Mountain coming from Ascalon and losing in that final to Kairos, regaining a bit of pride there.
I do remember talking to Mountain earlier today, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to win." So.
Oh, I think he is. I think he was a bit motivated to come on and face me in the semifinals. I think he is looking forward to that.
So Calyx, our fearless, will go on to fight the very fearful Mountain Dew. And next up we have Taya and Turkey Man, Battle of the T's. And let's see if it heads to a T when these two combatants enter the ring. Kyle, I'm going to go for the upset.
What's the upset there?
We're going to find out.
Turkey overcoming some MultiAir in the first round, and Taya beating Shockop, both of which were 2-0 victories.
Seems the audience favors Taya. Placing the upset.
Yeah.
Firmly.
Only subtly though.
I would say Taya is definitely favored coming in here, but Turkey has showed himself not to be a slouch by any means today.
It's a bit confusing down here as a combatant, I must say. I suppose it's only right or left, but I feel like colors would be helpful, perhaps.
Perhaps.
So as to know.
But I think right now, as we wait for Turkey to solve that maze, would be a great time to mention another one of our sponsors. Mountain is washed up.
Well, he certainly cleaned up pretty good for that fight against Taya. Turkey's not looking sharp while Taya shoves a sword down his throat. Good lord.
We're caught off guard. Turkey's caught off guard. Who is
How many times do you have to tell somebody you don't ever look up in a PvP fight? It exposes your neck.
Admiring the stars, a beautiful sight above Silverhand.
It is a beautiful sight. Let's see if I can get some cinematic angles here.
Got the crowd threatening Turkey that he
only
will
got
be
4
this
health.
Christmas.
And, ooh,
that's a quick
That's
one.
a quick drop right there, folks.
Turkey.
And if
Turkey looking up with those splash pots to really try and maximize the duration, but I think a bit greedy there, and just exposing himself for.
I mean, and he can't afford to lose the next
Big
one,
damage.
or he will be out of the tournament and he will be on the table for Christmas, and it's not looking good for him.
Well, I mean, if he if he gets lit on fire right here, I think Canadian Thanksgiving is not too far away.
I think you may have missed it.
Ah, darn.
Has it already happened?
It has indeed.
I think it's something like the second week of October, so we might have missed it indeed.
You have, yeah.
Alright, well,
He survived. He survived the Canadian Thanksgiving.
He
It's a
lives
rough-
in
rough time of
Calro-
year
he
for
lives-
turkeys.
he lives in Calros. We can freeze him up for American Thanksgiving. And
Yeah. He reheats pretty well, as I understand. Perhaps Turkey can turn it around, catch Taya looking up. Let's find out.
Just waiting for both combatants to repot up and get ready.
And here we go again. This time, Turkey will move out of the doorway before he is hit.
Misses his first shot, though.
Oh, Turkey taking some heavy blows there. Oh, coming off the better of these exchanges. Taya
pops
trying to
up.
build the distance, but struggling.
Turkey senses an advantage here. Ooh, Taya caught in the water and almost fails to connect on his knockback.
Yeah,
shot.
Turkey
Ooh,
missed a chance
Turkey
to...
had a chance.
Yeah,
Still
Taya
does.
was repotting there.
The battles rise and fall based on eating, man. I'll tell you what.
And they're both, you both saw them get in there while the opponent was eating, get off a couple of crits, and really almost make it not worth the region they get, but sometimes health comes with a price.
Yeah, death.
Oh, that arrow zoom past Taya. That one connecting.
He's in
Got
the
him in the
corner.
corner.
What was
Potting
he
in the
waiting for?
corner.
That could have been a disaster.
Down to one heart. Turkey nearly finishing him off there.
Both of these combatants taking big risks to get as much as they can out of their
Oh, when
potion.
he's about to
hit.
catch
Can he
him
get
in-
him?
Oh,
Oh.
Turkey did not realize he had the advantage there. Turned around, it seemed like, even. Turkey's had his, he's had the potential to kill Taya a number of times this match.
Yeah, and
I think
again,
he's,
letting Taya get away.
I don't think he's confident. I think he's worried. He knows Taya's a good PvPer.
Well, once you've lost the first round, you can't afford to lose again, and not having that kind of flexibility, it does make you play far more cautious.
And Taya now has,
Yeah, Taya really on the upper hand now. Turkey having to recover, get that distance. Has succeeded. Taya's let them build the gap, able to repot.
Is
And
that
Taya
little crouch
actually-
maneuver that they're doing, is that related to the anti-cheat making you do it? Is that what everybody keeps doing, or is that some other thing I'm not aware of? Oh, dear.
Oh,
Taya
And
getting
in a-
Turkey caught on the bridge, and he's stuffed.
you think you're so cheeky,
He's
Magpie.
come home to roost after all, boys.
Well, you've got to get them all in now. He's out.
Well,
I mean, there's no losers
I
bracket
mean-
to continue the Turkey puns, so we must get them all squeezed.
No,
in.
no, Mag. Haven't you already had your Saturday roast?
It's true. It's true. Don't roll it out tomorrow either, though. I could be a maverick, you know.
Could never be too British, I suppose.
Wouldn't want that, would we?
Right. This is Eye Warrior. Taya in the next round. Semi-finals, in fact. So, what to play for?
Man, this is This is going to be a real close one. I'm not even sure who I would call the favorite here.
Boy, I'm not sure either. What does the audience think? Survey says 63% in favor of Nationalistic going on.
Okay. It's not too
obvious.
bad, not too bad.
Not who I voted for, in effect, actually. Interestingly, we'll see how this goes.
I'm actually a bit surprised. I expected it to be almost 50-50, given iWarrior's performance earlier. I thought some people would be persuaded, but let's see if he can persuade them now.
What do you think betting on the
Nationalistic, leaving it late, throwing a potion on the floor. iWarrior picking that one up, so iWarrior definitely up on the fatigue game here.
Yeah. You know, he's wearing that Nokia man skin, so he's got to forget his fire res until the last moment.
Yeah,
Throwback.
iWarrior had the upper hand. this
Throwback
fight.
meme for all you Asmundians out there,
That's a throwback Saturday.
if you're out there.
iWarrior on top, wonderful strafe of the arrow there, and getting Nationalistic while he's eating might get him pinned. Didn't quite pull it off. iWarrior very much on the aggression here.
Yeah, he's showing a great ability here to just keep the pressure, even when he has to recover some health himself. He's able to get that pot off and really just.
Oh, Nationalistic
Get
getting
right
a couple
back
of
into
solid
it.
hits there, forcing iWarrior to retreat, repot, come back in. Really favouring the bow here. I feel like a shield against Nationalistic may prove strong, but iWarrior choosing the food, as most combatants have. iWarrior almost getting stuck in the river
A
there.
couple nice
Could
180s
have been
there.
bad.
This is a high-speed match, the likes of which we haven't seen a lot of today. Not a lot of downtime for
Choosing
either.
the drinking pot
Stopping
there.
to eat and repot.
Finally,
both
they're
of them.
taking a chance to breathe and repot.
Nice couple of hits there with the stat trap bow. Really getting some good solid connections in.
Nationalistic saw an opportunity to get Warrior caught in a corner. Nice combos from Nationalistic on Warrior.
Ritz.
Warrior might be able to turn this around though. He did have potions.
Oh, and
ready.
Warrior turns it around on him and takes him down.
Heavy crits.
Wow.
Finishing him off. That could have
Very
gone either
close
way.
match
That
there.
really
That
could
was. Ooh-wee.
have. Do wonder if people are underestimating Warrior. Definitely the underdog, and he's really proving people wrong.
Yeah, definitely a bit slept on, but I think he's definitely out here earning himself some respect. Showing some very good offensive prowess.
Again, wrapping Ascalon, I believe. So,
Speaking of Ascalon, another one of our sponsors today, Skoo, is washed up. That's right, you heard it here, folks. Skoo is washed up. Didn't
Very
even
good.
show up for today's tournament.
there
He
you
washed
go.
up, but I think
iWarrior's
he washed up on the wrong continent. Maybe he's stumbling around Garama looking for a tournament to go to.
Yeah, a fishing tournament. That's all he competes in these days, the old geezer.
iWarrior not through yet though.
Nope.
And here they go with round two.
Warrior,
Warrior getting some really
strong
good
out that gate.
Nationalistic
one-
pulling
wow,
it back
the
now.
overall-
Warrior's in trouble. Oh, neither player letting up.
A
They're
fury
really
between
going.
these two combatants right now. Nationalistic.
Warrior
Yeah.
eventually having to
Goodness.
Ooh,
gracious.
and he might
Big
get him under the
crit.
bridge.
Oh, he's got him caught.
Oh. A missed
Had
opportunity
a great
there.
opportunity,
And
just not able to connect.
Could swing the fight in Nationalistic's favour.
Small reset.
oh, Warrior getting really low there. That could have been it. Definitely playing it on the braver side.
This is a very high quality game. Very high intensity.
Yeah, I feel like both of these competitors are very much worthy of the semi-final. Unfortunate they've had to come up against each other here. But that is, of course, the nature of a random bracket. Nationalistic getting him when he's running away. Sword in the back. We're going to go to a final game, folks.
Only the second of the game of 3, I believe, we've had today, actually.
I think this will be the third.
Third?
We did have Boyle and Calyx in round 1. We did also
Yep.
make it there. So I'm curious to see how the voting has gone for these two.
Nationalistic still with 59% of the votes. Very multicolored bit of shulker boxes down here.
Dude, you gotta get that color coding.
How exactly do you get your stuff? Are the doors locked, or
Yeah, they're locked, but Mountain's down here opening all the doors for everybody when they need to repot.
ah, I see.
Yeah, every player able to bring their own sets of shulker boxes full of potions.
Be a bit expensive if they were provided by Silverhand.
Indeed, indeed. When you've got 16 players like that, it can add up for sure.
Warrior is now he's making his way up to the wrong side of the arena. Built. Yep, there he goes.
There he goes.
He's
He
figured
took
it
a
out.
heavy knock on the head at the end of the last round, so I'm not too surprised there. There we go. Looks like we've got both players in position.
And off we go.
Here they go once more.
Looks like Nationalistic trying to go for the aggressive route again. It did work for him in that second round. Warrior, they're connecting really well.
Nationalistic answering back, both of them.
Interesting,
Make a bit of
Nationalistic
space.
really enjoying that bow.
Yeah, I think he's really trying to alleviate some of that pressure from Warrior. He's just so persistent, as you can
Does
see
seem
right
to
now.
Be able to make better use of it than most of our players have this tourney so far.
Ring around the arena we go. My goodness.
Yeah, Warrior smells blood here. He might have him cornered. Nationalistic still having a couple of pots left, ready to heal up.
Warrior's not letting up Everywhere he goes, he's right
Bow shot
behind
lane,
him.
Nationalistic eat. He's doing very well at keeping this distance, even though he's just under so much pressure.
I think he's just waiting out iWarrior at this point, knowing he's got to repot
Yeah.
at some point.
But with all these hits he's taking, how long can he wait? Burning pots, and, his armor slowly but surely breaking. Can't go too long, otherwise he might just get worn down completely.
Wow, that
Now
dance
we're back
was-
into the dance. Oh, but now Nationalistic on the gets the upper hand. iWarrior taking a lot of hits. Burns a couple pots, and he's looking to turn it around onto Nationalistic now.
This is fascinating. It's swinging back and forth.
I'm on the edge of my seat, boys.
Nationalistic really under pressure here. iWarrior might be able to pin him, but no, he's turned it around again.
iWarrior in the river, but he's out of it. Nationalistic caught, and
iWarrior
gets a
really brave,
win.
going in
Oh,
there
and
at
then-
5 hearts, and that cost him.
Well, he
He had a chance there to build that gap and repot up, but he decided he saw Nationalistic stuck in the river. He thought he'd go for him, but only had the 5 hearts, and turned out to be his downfall. But
I think
full
iWarrior
credit.
chose. He wanted to go for him in the water. He really did. And the minute he decided to, it was a little too late by that point. Nationalistic was back up to full effectively.
But no, a wonderful fight there, and shame there's no losers bracket, because I think iWarrior could have potentially made it all the way through that as well.
Really on to this next fight already. Calyx versus Mountain Dew. There's a speed amongst the tournament organizers here. I'm rooting for the upset.
Who is the upset? I mean, Mountain, I guess, has been the underdog through this tournament, knocking out some really big players, but
Oh my
he
gosh!
does take the fight there against Calyx.
Mountain Dew has
Very,
really,
very quick.
really
Oh,
nutted
man.
up here.
Calyx always getting stuck between those 2 pillars there, and really didn't have anywhere to go.
64% support for Mountain Dew here. I think the audience wants an underdog to take this thing home.
I mean, he's knocked out Baton Inapplicable. I mean, I think he's proven himself to the audience, and they can see what potential he has. This, of course, for a place in the final. And there will, of course, be a shot at the champion title as well. So the winner of the tournament will go on to face Archer Squid in a bonus final, if you like. And that is to retain or take the champion title away from them. So, all to play for.
Can Mountain Dew slay Calyx with the same fervor? Oh,
Calyx
and
may
Calyx
have DC'd
disconnection. Oh my gosh, he
just
pulls out, and
the
Mountain,
covers.
I think he delayed just long enough to not kill him. Not sure if that was intentional or what. Or just
Yeah,
good
I
sportsman
mean-
conduct right there.
Thankfully, for Calyx's sake, he didn't completely GC and still is in this fight, but that has set him back somewhat.
Mountain Dew's been training in the high hills of whatever continent he comes from. I don't frankly know.
He is an Ascalonian.
In the high llama-filled mountains of the Ascalon northern mountains. Haven't seen him for ages, but he comes back a new man and a strong fighter. And a storyteller, nonetheless. It's like his story is more complex than it seems.
Indeed, yeah. Training with those monk llamas up in the mountains. Clearly working for him.
Battle of the S-type title folk here. Stars and all.
Calyx,
Calyx got... Oh, Mountain really got him.
into the river, and that could have cost him. Calyx getting low again. Mountain definitely on top of this fight so far. Lovely shot as Calyx was eating. Calyx trying to escape, getting stuck again, trying to cross that river.
Mountain Dew's nearly
Just
got him. If he can
getting
just keep that pressure up. Calyx seems off balance most of this fight.
Yeah, Calyx coming back in. He might be able to turn this one around. Mountain still having potions ready. Mountain not letting up this pressure. He really knows that Calyx is potentially unprepared to. Although now he's giving him that chance to repot, get his hotbar filled with those heal pots, and both players now effectively resetting the fight. Mountain coming off the better with those exchanges, and again Calyx is on the run. Oh, but Mount getting really low there, down to 2 hearts, before choosing to pop back up again. Mountain's got Calyx on the run. Can he get him?
No clear victor as yet.
No, Calyx just been doing really well at bridging that gap when he's low, getting his pots back, and he has managed to turn this around. But on the defensive through the entire fight.
Got him in a really strong combo chain there.
Yeah, he did really well to refill his hotbar, building that gap, and then able to heal up when he does come out worse on those exchanges. And Mountain maybe getting a bit too cocky there, I don't know, but it's gone to a third game.
Sounds as though the power went out in young Skuku's area.
Ah, that's why our former champion has not shown up for our little fight today.
Another match to the 3rd round here.
The winner of this booking a place in the final and a guaranteed prize. I assume we will have a 3rd place match, as there is a prize up for grabs for 3rd. And of course, having 4 combatants left in it, the loser of this and the other semi-final should battle each other for 3rd.
There we go.
Both players making sure they're all set up with their potion effects early on. Meeting right in the middle. We haven't seen 2 players actually both come at each other before. They tend to, one tends to pull back and let the other come onto them. Calyx getting some really solid hits in there. For once, Mountain is the one on the defensive.
A nice deflection shot there.
Yeah, Mountain tends to use his bow for damage as opposed to building that distance. He likes to use it before he comes in and engages in melee. Whereas most people choosing to use it to bridge that gap ready to repod up. Again, no shields though. People opting against that option. Very even exchange there. Calyx missing with that potion, it looked like, but getting the second one off. Oh. Calyx getting the better of Mountain again. This is a very, very even final fight.
Both of these boys want to take home that shiny new title.
Mountain, instead of going in for the kill there, he decided he was too low and it was not worth the risk. Despite Calyx only being on 3 hearts. Mountain getting really low there. I don't think Calyx quite realised how low he had him. Calyx coming off slightly better, Mountain coming back a bit.
Nice return fire from Mountain Dew here.
Failing the obstacles ever so slightly there, and that may have cost him. It allowed Calyx to get that food in. And it looks like he's trying to repot here. Mountain doing really well, he might be able to finish it now. If he keeps this pressure on, Calyx definitely needing to run and restore his health. This may be the longest bout we've had so far.
It's up there. I'm not sure. There's been some of the fights with Turkey and
I'm expecting a helmet to go any moment now.
possibly.
And I think that could end up deciding it potentially. Mountain must have the more damage on Calyx over this fight. And as soon as Calyx's helmet breaks, he'll be for the taking. So he may have to change up his strat and go more aggressive potentially, because he will have almost no defense once that helmet goes. Mountain given plenty of time to repot, get all his buffs back. Both players quite low. Neither quite wanting to risk it. And there goes
Ooh,
Calyx.
the beheading! He takes out Calyx with a beheading in the end of all of this.
Yeah, he got across that river okay. Hesitated for a second, turned to Mountain, and it was enough time for him to close the gap and take him down. Mountain goes on to the final.
That's an upset right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. Calyx should be able to return to play for the 3rd place.
I missed that speed pod, boys, and it cost me big time.
So we've got Tay versus Nationalistic for a place in the final versus Mountain.
The next grouping, Taya versus Nationalistic. The voters can vote while the battlers will battle. Will this matchup have the pitched sense of the last one? That remains to be seen. These two are usually side by side on the battlefield, and now they're forced to be turned against each other for fancy new pixels. Form of the title of champion of Victor. Nationalistic with a decided combo and really ripped him apart and fast and beheads him.
Damn.
That was a decisive and swift victory.
Brutality.
Gross.
Yeah.
See what the audience thought about that. 53% in favor of Nationalistic.
Pretty close, pretty close.
Pretty close. Well, on the plus side, once if you go down fast, there's not a lot to repot. You're not a lot required to replenish, I should say.
Yeah, I definitely feel these two have had the slightly easier side of the bracket. Do you think the upper half was filled with quite a few hurdles? But with just a 16-man tournament, there's no super easy games by any means.
I almost wonder if we shouldn't do a kit-based tournament where you basically provide your kit loadout and then we save it, and then you don't have to actually bring sets and sets of the gear. You basically just say, this is the kit I would like to bring. It's unchangeable, perhaps, except between rounds, maybe. And once you die, you can just re-kit, repop, just
I
go.
could certainly see something like that for a
Really
server
speed
run
things up.
tournament.
Yeah, that's true. Nationalistic taking a bit of a breather here before
He
chaos.
does tend to bait the opponents onto him.
The dance.
Complaining about that EU ping.
Who? Taya?
But it-
Or Nationalistic?
Nationalist.
I was going to say Taya's American. He's one of the North... I think he's one of the pingers. That's it.
But Nationalistic
one of our
coming out on
kind.
top.
One of your
lot.
kind, yes. You
Hey.
filthy brood.
Say this lag doesn't seem to be making a difference. Nationalistic just putting on a bit of a beat down.
God, Taya
Hey, it stops the pot.
And he's
doing a
on
bit of a
the
slow.
ropes.
And that-
He does
Wow.
get him.
Hey,
What
that
was he up to exactly?
whiff.
That was a quicker bout than I had entirely expected. I won't
I
lie.
expected that one to go the
Taya
the
complaining
distance.
their connection wasn't too great, despite them supposedly having the good ping.
Maybe he was playing on wireless. As we know, that's a big no-no. Hopefully he wasn't.
Ha!
Well,
Joke's on y'all. I play on wireless and I'm just fine.
yeah, that's clearly why you never disconnect.
I don't have internet problems. I have PC problems.
Uh-huh. Well, the championship match. Not that the seeds are all that useful,
It's not.
but the 12th, it's not what?
It's not the championship match yet.
Not
well,
yet.
it's the final
Oh,
match.
Okay, you're just naming the.
We got
It's
the
not.
semifinals
Oh yes,
to go.
pardon my
Oh.
parlance. It's not
Yeah,
the
you're
title
a
of
match
champion
ahead.
match. It is the.
No. You're just a match ahead. We're doing the third place match first.
Oh, which will be
Yeah.
what exactly? It'll be
It'll be Taya and
Taya.
Calyx.
you and Taya. Yeah, that's not on the. I think there's a way to show that in the bracket in the future. I just don't.
There
see it.
is, yeah.
I think it might be tied into doing a full losers bracket. I don't know if there's a way to do. Like,
There is
one
an
round of
option
losers.
for a third place match. There is.
All right. Well,
Although it does involve, it is possibly would cut off biographic potentially.
logistics of challenge aside, I'll be going dark once more for one final bout.
Good luck.
Yeah. So the loser of this will be the last player to miss out on a prize. Third place, of course, receiving a full set of enchanted armor along with a named diamond sword. There's plenty of diamonds and iron blocks and ingots to go along with it, so certainly a fair amount riding on it.
A lot of money being spent in this tournament for certain. Looks like the audience doesn't get to vote on this one.
Oh, Taylor again, and potentially his lag issues very slow on the potting up, and giving Calyx that initial advantage, although Calyx coming off worse at the exchanges, believe it or not.
Oh, it's a battle of the pingers for
Taylor taken him down.
Tayu takes Calyx down.
Indeed, yeah, and best of 3 again, but I mean, on the basis of that performance, can't see Calyx coming and beating him again.
Apparently that was the match of one.
It is a match of 1 for third place, interesting.
So Taya wins third place with some fancy shinies. But no fancy pixels. And now for the final match. Before the match for the champion title.
Yep,
I should
this
say.
for victor, the title of victor, and the shot at winning the champion title by facing our incumbent champion of Archer Squid.
Gee, I don't know. I don't know.
Could go either way.
The winner of this match will earn the title of victor, all of the same. That is a permanent title. Champion, however, does get transferred. Mountain Dew comes out of the gate facing the wrong way. He figures it out, though, folks. A little bit of a Cupid shuffle right there before heading on to fight Nationalistic.
He's got his own special way of doing things, that Mountain.
Well, it's whatever he's doing out. Other people need to learn because Mountain's taking this all the way to the final.
Oh, he's got down to 2 hearts there. Nationalistic not closing that gap as quickly. Seems to be so worried about his own health and saturation.
There's a lot
And
hiding
a
there.
rogue Enderman dying on the field.
Well, that'll happen. Bet he thought this isn't where I parked my car.
Oh, Mountain had a chance there, and he's not doing so well at this close quarters combat.
Is this a best of 3 as well, or is this a best of 5? Dear God, help us with
This
this.
is the best of 3, I believe.
I would assume a best of 3, but I have not heard otherwise.
Looks like Mountain's got the upper hand here. Nationalistic for a chance to heal up.
Really
In the
smelling
corner.
blood in the water.
You
there.
might be able to get him
I
if you can
think he
pin him
might-
in this corner.
Oof.
Wasn't able to connect on any of those.
Some big misses, but still making Nationalistic throw a lot of health pots there. Definitely still controlling the pace of this match.
Oh, he's got him right in the corner. He might be able to finish him here.
He was able to break that chain and get out a little bit, but he's really struggling to keep his health up. Now Mountain's stuck against the wall. National against the wall. Oh, National
Now
realizes
Mountain's
he's
got a
an
repot.
opportunity. Now
Mountain's hurting.
turn around with a nice 180.
Clutch bow shot.
I don't think Mountain realizes how low Nationalistic is. He could have turned and changed the tide of the battle there, but instead choosing to worry about his own health. Good use of the bow there.
Really
getting
on
Nationalistic
point
off
with
there.
those, knockback bows.
Out and getting a really nice chain there. He might be able to do it.
And Nationalistic keeps
Just
throwing
dropping
into
fast.
these corners to pot.
The pot.
I don't know if that's a wise choice given how
Oh,
it's
getting Mount into the river
I think
there.
he's,
that's-
I think he's using the walls to splash closer to his head,
yeah,
so that he doesn't have to throw them straight up. But that's a really risky strategy.
yeah, he's using it to really get every extra inch he can out of those pots.
But at the cost of losing.
It's a big risk.
Yeah.
Oh, he's really low again. Mountain
Mountain might be
very
able to
much
finish
the
him off
aggressor
here.
this way.
There he goes.
And there we
That's
go.
done it.
Mount
Round 1 goes to Mountain Dew, who's just looking stronger than any other opponent today.
Mountain, the prolific leader of Clan
like the,
Dew 98,
I'd like to watch this replay
All
again. Pay
creepily identical.
special notion to the audience who's jumping up and down in glee, getting to be close to the action. Look at them go. They're super excited to be right there, right next to this historic fight. See what the audience thinks about the winner. 52% for Mountain Dew and 48 to Nationalistic.
So despite that, still very, very close in the voting. So, Mountain, 1 win away from the victor title and first prize in the third Silverhand Tournament. Definitely the underdog this tourney. I don't think anyone touted him for victory prior to it, but he's put in strong performance after strong performance, and
Not to say I told you so, but
I would not be surprised. if
I have,
for
I
that.
have, I have mentioned before that Mountain really has been clocking a lot of practice for this tournament. He wants this. He is definitely hungry.
It does beg the question. However, oh, go ahead.
Definitely no lack of effort on his part.
That's what I like to hear. It does beg the question, though, for the poor bastard, Archer Squid, who has to defend his title, having had no chance to really warm up. I suspect he's probably doing some duels, if I had to guess. I'm sure he
It is
still,
difficult for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's tough.
often you find with losers brackets, the team that comes through the losers bracket having all that practice, and the winner having to wait cold, waiting for them to come on, they can often end up overturning the player who'd effectively won the winners bracket entirely. So
And they're off, round 2. If Mountain Dew can win this, he takes home the victor title at the very least.
getting
Oh,
nationalistic. He's not even in the arena yet. Taking a really long time to get his potions up. Mountain getting some solid hits in, and National is already on the defensive.
Nationalistic's gonna need to heal pretty quick. Mountain's
He's
not letting
in
it
trouble.
up.
Mountain keeping him against that wall. Just
Mountain's
Mountain can keep this
looking
pressure up.
nearly
Nationalistic won't be
flawless.
able to repot, get his health potions back in his heart bar, and he will have no way of regaining health.
Again, Nationalistic caught in corner after corner after corner.
He's managed to push away the onslaught for now, but it's coming straight back.
here
I
goes.
don't know how he's managing to get these pots on his heart bar, but he's finding a way somehow.
These trades looks like Mountain finally getting a bit better. These trades put Nationalistic on the run. He's in the corner. He's in the entry tunnel.
He's down in the hallway. Oh, he's stuck.
I don't know what's going
I
on.
don't know what the ruling is on this, but
Well, he's like stuck in the wall and can't get out.
There he goes. He's dropped. He's back.
I think
into
he was. I
reality.
think he was stuck by the anti-cheat on that one.
Yeah, it's happened to me a couple
That was
times.
a fortunate, actually, like
back-
lockout.
I
Anti-cheat
wonder
saves the
if
day
there
for
is a
once.
viewing on going down the stairwell and outside the arena, whether they're
Yeah, they can fight all the way through the town portal, all the way to spawn. and back on the boat.
I'd be impressed if they started fighting in Spawn, to be quite honest.
Well,
Me
we'll
too.
see what is viewed on this. The fight's still going on, at least, for now.
Good lord.
Yeah, that's a few similar IPs
The
there.
whole college dorm just logged in. And
The whatever university Minecraft club is having its big meeting today.
this battle has relaxed a bit. A lot of running around, but not any.
Oh, Mountain's getting him really low again.
Looks like Mountain's just maintaining an upper hand, but he can't quite close it out on Nationalistic. He's
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a
Barely
single
getting
fight
away.
where running out of potions.
yes,
The
he.
problem is
Oh, there it is.
Gee,
Mountain Dew, the victor of the
Mountain
third Silverhand Tournament.
But yes, you did see a fight where people ran out of potions. I ran out of potions in my last fight against Mountain. He got me good. He's definitely earned his place today as a victor and maybe even a champion.
Oh, that's it,
Alright.
folks. He's got. No, that's not it. But that is it for the regular bracket. Mountain Dew now must fight Archer Squid in order to attempt to claim
champion.
his title.
Yeah, this is Archer's first attempt at reclaiming his title. Obviously winning it at the last tournament, taking it off of Skahoo, the now angler Skahoo, as he is known.
But, congratulations to our top three. Taya taking home third place, Nationalistic in second place, and Mountain Dew 98 victor for the third Silverhand Tournament. Congratulations, everyone.
Now, for those asking, you don't have to beat Archer twice in a row. That was only due to the losers bracket in the previous tournament, and that was in the regular seeding. So it's a straight best of three. The first two win
2 games will be the new champion, or will maintain his champion title if Archer Squid manages to pull it off.
I suspect he's going to don that title right before trying to take that champion away. And they're off.
They're off.
Again, Mountain with his classic not facing the right way strategy.
It'll be interesting to see how rusty Archer is. Obviously not having fought at all, watched the entire tournament from the stands. Now having to just jump right in there to defend his title.
Whoops. Let's make sure we're watching the match here. Don't worry, nothing has happened really.
Yeah, exchanging blows. Mountain getting the better of the initial exchanges, but Archer holding his own. Archer getting really low now, but still maintaining the pressure. I hear a gasp.
Hell on Earth has been picked for the Calros policy. Hell on Loka, I should say. Now, it is important to note, Archer Squid won his champion title in the Hilo tournament. That was a bare bones arena. It was not a pot PvP tournament. So, if Archer Squid can retain his title of champion here, he can prove the dominating player at both bare bones and pot PvP. Mountain, however, blood in the water for him. He's hungry. He is thirsty. He wants that champion title. And he wants it bad. And I think there's a lot of people
continuing this aggressive
Woo!
play, and he has
there
paid
it is
off.
for the
He's
first of 3. Mountain Dew seems unstoppable right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a very aggressive style. I mean, a lot of players seem to be very cautious in terms of maintaining their own health pool rather than looking at finishing off the opponent when they're low. And it does seem to be paying off up to now.
One more fight left.
Yep, so Mountain is just one fight away from champion. Will the nerves get the better of him? Archer, though, just needs to win this and then the next match, and he will maintain his title, so it's far from over just yet.
What does the audience have to say? They think the winner is going to be Mountain Dew with 58% of the vote. The audience loves an underdog story. Can he do it? Can he do it in 2, folks? Battle begins under my beautiful arbor. Which I built, by the way. I want everybody to know that. Turns out I can build some stuff. It's a beautiful tree. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go to the fight! It's only the most important fight.
Archer getting off a lot better here in the early exchanges this time. Mountain, for the first time in a while, he's on the defensive.
We can perhaps chalk up the first match to Archer Squid being a little cool, a little not yet warmed up. Let's see if he can turn it around. Oh, he's dancing around Mountain Dew, and Mountain's caught in the water.
Stuck in the water. Did get those potions off though. Archie using that opportunity to restore some saturation there. Again, Mountain on the run, but now he's got Archer in the water and he might be able to chain him.
Oh, he got stuck on the vine, that lily pad right there, rather. Devilish little thing that is. Oh, Archer's trying to get Mountain before his regen pot gets drunk. Or perhaps that was fire. I don't actually play this game. What do I know?
Yeah, no regen in this particular tournament, but could well have been strength, fire, or speed that he was consuming that. Didn't quite catch it. Archer really getting a good chain here. Mountain doing very well to escape, hopping across the river to bridge the gap, and now he's back on the offensive.
Really wish I could see those health bars, man, but I think I'm gonna put
Well,
them
I
as a
can
boss.
tell you,
bar next
Archer's,
time.
Archer's back up to full. Mountain about 3/4 health.
Yeah. I think I'll use the dragon bar at the top of the screen for health pools for us spectators next time.
Well, there are a variety of texture packs that do reduce fire particles.
Yes.
No.
Are we? Oh, Archer Squid takes
Archer
Mountain Dew down and
takes
takes it to a third match.
Yeah, Mountain getting caught trying to retreat up the central bridge there, but not quite getting up.
Come
Time.
on, replay, baby. There we go.
So it goes to a decider.
Well, I wouldn't have it any other way, Mac.
I know.
Although I think Mountain Dew's now he's going to have to really think about this quite a bit. I think he had a lot of momentum going into things, but all it takes is one defeat right when it matters most to really throw you off balance and make you have to start thinking and sweating. It's easy to play the first match willy-nilly because you can afford to lose, but this is it.
Well, this is where pressure and composure come into it. One small slip up and you can be quick drops so easily in this format. Those players making sure they are fully geared up for this next one.
Clockhead Mr. Pisquale is running this tournament, as he has the past 2 Silverhand tournaments. He's done a really nice job of building a good Coliseum, with good structure and good planning. Here we go, folks. This is the third match. This is for all those marbles that we've been talking about. I don't think we said once anything about marbles, but we are now.
They certainly come into play.
And right at this moment, right here and right now. It's fever pitch. Mountain Dew wants it. Archer Squid wants it back. Well, he wants to keep it anyway. Oh, Mountain Dew is really on point with those 180s. Nice combo chain. Squid gets out of it.
Yeah, both players on similar health total. Archer is the one that is playing the more defensive role though. Somebody's dropping a potion there. Mountain nearly got pinned against that bridge. Oh, I'm getting very low here. Archer managing to pop back up.
Mountain's got the slight upper hand now. Now it's equal again. Uh-oh.
Oh no, Mountain getting stuck in the river.
he's-
That might cost him.
He got out of it. He got out of it. Both,
Archer
I think both combatants kind of freaked out there for a second. Small fight reset here. Neither one of them wants to face the water and potentially get knocked in.
For Archer getting a good solid couple of hits in there. Mountain switching to his bow to try and build some sort of a gap, get some free damage in.
Oh, Archer's caught in the water.
Mountain jumping in.
Oh, he just barely got out of it, but that could have been it. That could have been
Yeah,
it.
he's thankfully had plenty of pots ready to maintain that onslaught.
Small fight reset again. Really tense here. Look at those. Look at those preemptive jukes. I bet their hands are shaking. I'm glad I don't have to-
Archer really in trouble here, but managing to pot up again.
Mountain Dew might get him pinned. Archer's struggling. But still. This is anything but cagey, folks.
Fight reset again. Equal pairings here.
Yeah, Mount panicking first and failing out. Giving Archer time to get that saturation back up. Archer really low, that could have been it. Don't think Archer got that saturation restore in there.
Archer's got 4 hearts left. Oh, he's back up. Oh, the dance. Dance around the bridge.
Yeah, Archer's really low on.
Woo, there it is! A
pots
Mountain
on that.
Dew takes the champion title as well as Victor, and gets a beheading to top it all off. That's it,
Yeah.
folks. Mountain Dew, the underdog of the century, takes home the champion title and wins this third Silverhand tournament. Congratulations, Mountain Dew. Oh, I didn't get a longer bit of that replay. I was so excited I forgot to capture it. But that's it, folks. He did it.
Yeah, I think in the end Archer had just run out of health pots. He'd been under a lot of pressure throughout that fight. Mountain had been slightly more efficient on his potion usage, and I think that's what it came down to in the end. A very, very close fight, and yeah,
Man,
definitely both worthy champions. But on this occasion, Mountain takes it.
Thanks for joining us today. This was a good tournament, as always. Look forward to some new stream stuff and stream statistics next time we do one of these, in one fashion or another. And I think that's really all for us. So congratulations to Mountain Dew on unseating Archer Squid as the champion of Loka. Looks like a complete free-for-all as Mr. Quality faces Mountain Dew down for some reason. I don't know what's going on here, but I think he wants a piece. I don't know. We'll have to see how this turns out.
Yeah, sadly the tournament organizer not quite realizing that he can't unseat the champion at this point.
No, but he does. Mountain Dew still wins. Ah, with the champion Gladius. This is the sword that he wins. Presented to blank of blank. Mr. P will have to update the lore for that. But that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Congratulations to the victors.
Mountain Dew throwing his sword down.
Archer's getting it. It's complete chaos. And we're going to call it a night on that one, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll throw this on YouTube as soon as we get a chance. Take care.
Bye.